Hi, my name is Aaron Stehly. I'm here with my 2017 Volkswagen Golf R race car. This car is a race car that campaigned with Sports Car Club of America in the Touring 3 class. Let's take a walk around. I'll show you some details about it. So the Touring 3 class is a pretty restrictive class. There's prescribed modifications that you can actually do to the vehicle. So while a lot of cars that you see here at SEMA Show are wild and unlimited builds, this has a series of rules that we've had to keep very close to so that we can be legal when we compete. I'll start off with the suspension and the wheels. So what we're running is a 529 Innovations 370 millimeter brake kit. It's a 6-piston Wilwood caliper with gyro disc rotors. You want to stop, and you want to stop really predictably on the racetrack, so that's why we went with that. Made it up to the KONIG Ultragram 18 by 8.5 ET42 wheels. We're limited to a 245 tire, so this was really a great package to match with the brakes, and then also the suspension that we're running. The suspension is also a custom designed kit from 529 Innovations, and up front they are two-way non-remote adjustable dampers, and then in the back we've got a 4-way adjustable remote reservoir damper so that we can really dial in the compression and the rebound on the track depending on what the conditions are and the amount of traction that we have available. So being that this is a full-blown race car in a very rule limited class, we don't have any aero. The outside of the car has to remain stock. So really the things that we've done to maximize it are we're lowering it to the approved ride height, which is 4.5 inches, and then we're also doing as much weight reduction as possible. So if we look at here, we've taken the front windows out of the car. You don't need front windows, and actually, frankly, they want the glass out of it when we're competing. So we've made some nice covers so that it's just not a vacant hole in the door, and we're really looking at everything to remove weight out of the vehicle. The vehicle is spec'd at 3,100 pounds with me in it at the end of a race. We're racing 20 to 30 lap races, so we're sprint racing, and so it's all out as hard as you can race, door-to-door competition series that we travel across the country to compete in.
Do you have to refuel in a race like that, 30 lap race?
No, we don't actually, but we have to be really strategic about how much fuel we put in the car, trying to get down to under a gallon of fuel when we get off the track, just so that we're being mindful about the weight and not going over by too much. So it's kind of this balancing act that we get to play. Again, since it's a race car, we don't need the creature comforts of keyless entry or automated systems. So we're using aero catch for both the rear hatch and the front hood. We use these latches, and you'll see that the whole car is gutted. Gutted from all of the creature comforts and things that don't make the car move faster. We've got a roll cage built by my friends at Patience Metal Fab. It's a really great group of guys in Minneapolis that have a extreme attention to detail, and their fit and fitment is just unbelievable. I'm really spoiled with this cage. You'll notice here, these are the 529 remote reservoir, so that is the 4-way damper that we get to adjust. We opted to do this versus a non-remote so that during testing and tuning we can open the hatch and do a quick adjustment and then get back out on the track and look at lap times and differences that the car is doing in the same conditions versus going back into the paddock, changing some things, and then maybe the track conditions change a little bit before we get back out.
Sounds like you guys have a very calculated approach to racing.
It's in a class that's very restricted. You have to take those sorts of approaches, and you have to look at every second, every ounce, and every little piece of geometry to give you that edge. Otherwise, you're not giving it the full attention that you can.
Right.
So if we move over to this side, we can show you a little bit more of the inside. Again, this is all based on what makes the car faster and safer. So this is where all the magic happens. This is where I get to do my work, and I get to prove our worth on the track. And so the whole point of the layout here is safety and ergonomics. The more comfortable you are in the car, the better you're going to perform, the better you're going to race. The more comfortable you are, the safer you likely are as well. And so this whole cockpit has been designed around those two pieces, safety and performance. We've got a quick release hub, FIA approved quick release hub on our Sparco steering wheel. Being that it's a 5-door vehicle, it's kind of hard to get in and out of, so we removed the steering wheel to get in and out. We're doing all of our data acquisition from an AIM MXG dashboard. This is giving us GPS lap times. This is tied into the CAN system of the vehicle, and so we know brake pressures, throttle position, we know GPS speed, lap times. Pretty much any data that we want to evaluate at the end of a race, we can look at that really in the hunt of perfection or less mediocrity on the racetrack. Right side window net, this is intended to help keep you in place and so your arms aren't flying around should you get an accident. And then, you know, your traditional race seat and 5-point harnesses. This happens to be a RaceTech seat, and it is a full halo seat, so when we're using a head and neck device, a Hans device with our helmet, we can prevent it from moving, our head from moving side to side and fore and aft with the Hans. Outside of that, some simple things like a fire suppression system. Outside of that, it's stripped down and there's no creature comforts. All of the HVAC and the radio is all removed. All of the wiring and componentry associated with those pieces are gone, and this is really just a shell of a dashboard. Again, trying to keep the vehicle light.
I like that shift knob, by the way.
This shift knob is really one of my favorite parts of the car. My friend Joe at Black Forest Industries has supplied a shift knob for every build that I've had at SEMA, and so this was his blue GSI knob in an Alcantara leather. And so, you know, is it fun knob like that needed in a race car? No, but is it really just kind of a fun reminder of all the friends and people that go into these cars? Absolutely. A small little detail in the car could take me weeks at a time to really get to where I want it, but after you spend that amount of time and you get it just the way you like it, there's a sense of pride that comes with that, right? The care of the fit and finish and nuances. I like to have little Easter eggs in my builds where, you know, someone might not notice it at face value or at first glance, but then when you really dig deeper, you start to notice the little details. And it's my opinion that with any car, whether it's a race car or a show car, those small details really add up to a larger sum and a bigger impact. And so that's the approach that I tried to take with any of the vehicles I build and the parts that I choose to put on them.
You're a car enthusiast through and through, I can tell.
Guilty as charged.
Big time. Oh man.
Guilty as charged. I have high octane fuel and motor oil going through my veins.
That's awesome. And what are you daily, by the way?
My daily right now is actually a Dodge Ram pickup that is.
Man.
So if you want to keep an eye on what I'm doing throughout the season, you want to watch my racing or see more of the build behind this car, my Instagram is definitely maybe, probably not. You can find me there, and we'll be posting all the trials and tribulations that come with putting a brand new race car onto the track. Again, I'm Aaron Stehly. This is my 2017 Volkswagen Golf R race car, and I'm here at the SEMA Show 2023 with KONIG Wheels.